Hello there, hope you're good. Have you been watching some of the Winter Olympics? I've been watching a very small amount of them. It reminded me of when I was a kid that I used to live not far away from Christopher Dean, him of Torval and Dean fame, and I once saw him outside my local newsagents as I was about to go in and get some sweets, which was quite exciting. I recognised him on the way in. On the way out, I was probably going to go over and say hello, but he'd gone by that point. Since then, though, he's been on our TV screens most Sundays for half the year for about the last 10 years. Did spectacularly well. My other memory of Winter Olympics past is, of course, Eddie the Eagle Edwards, our plucky ski jumper who came from nowhere and took part in the Olympics one year. What a fantastic and interesting character he was. There was a point when he was absolutely everywhere. And of course, he had that film about his life made starring Eddie Redmayne. The only other thing I remember about the Winter Olympics when I was younger, I had a ZX Spectrum 128 computer. It was one of the first computers that had a built-in tape deck with the actual computer keyboard. The games used to take ages to load. You had to load them via cassette tape. And if you are of a similar age as me, you will know the horrendous noise those games used to make when they were loaded. If you only became involved in playing computers when they had systems where you put a disc in and it loaded straight away, you do not know the agony of waiting 5 or 10 minutes with a screeching noise going on for your computer game to load. We had a Winter Olympics game, which was great fun. You got to do speed skating, ski jumping, ice skating, which was ridiculously good fun. The ice skating was amazing and probably my favourite event on that computer game. I seem to remember us having several evenings where we'd have big family battles playing that particular game. These recent Olympics, I have been watching a little bit. Every time I turn on the TV, the curling seems to be on. For a while, when I was younger, believe it or not, due to a knee injury that stopped me playing football, played crown green bowls for a bit. And the curling kind of reminds me of that, except when you're playing on grass, you don't have to worry about someone sweeping your bowl down as it heads down. The curling is quite interesting. I did find myself watching some of the ski slalom the other night, and I couldn't quite work out the rules. It looked like you could hit the poles, but you had to go past the poles in a certain way. And I don't know if it was the TV angle or the camera angle that I was looking at, but it looked like some of the poles were missed. So I don't know if there's some you have to hit, some you don't. I mean, I suppose I could have listened more intently to the commentary or done some research, but I was just enjoying the spectacle of it all. And then there's the bobsleigh. And don't get me started about the people who lie on a metal tray and throw themselves down mountains. Absolutely amazing. I think you have to be an adrenaline junkie for that sort of thing, which probably explains why I've never even been skiing. I kind of like the idea of the snow and the mountains and the après ski, but the actual skiing down a ski slope, I am very clumsy. I could generally hurt myself around the house. Going down a ski slope on skis can only end probably one way for me, so it's something I'm always going to avoid, I think. Good to see Team GB getting a few medals this year as well. That's been very pleasing and very exciting. It is a time where you watch sports where you probably wouldn't watch at any other point during the year. And unlike some sports where I look at them and think, okay, might like to try that, maybe I could do that. Every single one of these Winter Olympic sports, I think, no way am I going to have a go at that. Fair play to all those athletes who dedicate time and effort into achieving that level of performance and the danger they face on a daily basis. I think it needs applauding.